Hello, welcome to Hamless. This is an improvised-ish reading of Hamlet by William Shakespeare, if you don't know. And this is the first and hopefully a series that we are calling one-liners, meaning two of us will read the entirety of a play. And I will read a line, he will read a line, I will read a line, he will read a line. There is no consistency in who's playing a character. We also have costume pieces and props to try and tell the story and keep it clear. It's not going to be.
Nope.
I am Ben Muckenthaler.
And I am Gus David Sanchez.
And this is Blank Conversations Prevents One-Liners. Hamless.
Act 1, Scene 1. Elsinore, a platform before the castle. Francisco at his post. Enter to him Bernardo.
Who's there?
Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself.
Long live the king.
Bernardo?
He.
You come most carefully upon your hour.
'Tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
For this relief much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold, and I am sick at heart.
Have you had quiet guard?
Not a mouse stirring.
Well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, bid them make haste.
I think I hear them. Stand ho! Who's there?
Friends to this ground.
Bernardo has my place. Give you good night.
Hola, wait, what? Hola? All right, hola, Bernardo.
Say, what is Horatio there?
A piece of him?
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good. Oh,
Yeah, you're Bernardo now.
oh, okay. This is going great. Welcome, Horatio. Welcome. Good, Marcellus.
What, has this thing appeared again tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him. Touching this dreaded sight twice seen of us, therefore I have entreated him along, with us to watch the minutes of this night, that if again this apparition comes, he may approve our eyes and speak to it.
Tush, tush, 'twill not appear.
Sit down a while, and let us once again assail your ears, that are so fortified against our story. What we have two nights seen, last night of all, when yon same star that's westward from the pole. Wait. Ah!
What? Peace! Break thee off! Look, where it comes again. Thou art a scholar. Speak to it, Horatio.
Looks it not like the king? Mark it, Horatio.
Most like it. It harrows me with fear and wonder.
Question it, Horatio.
God damn it, this... What art thou that usurp this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form, in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven, I charge thee, speak!
It is offended.
See, it stalks away.
Stay, speak, speak, I charge thee, speak.
'Tis gone, and will not appear.
How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than a fantasy? What do you think on it?
Before my God, I might not disbelieve without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes.
Is it not the king?
As thou art to thyself, such was the very armor he had on when he, the ambitious Norway, combated. So frowned he once, when in an angry parle he smote the sledded Polacks on the ice. 'Tis strange. This body is some strange eruption to our state.
Good now. Sit down and tell me, he that knows, why this same strict and most observant watch so nightly toils the subject of the land, and why such daily cast of brazen cannon, and foreign mart for implements of war. Who is that can inform me?
That can I. At least the whisper goes so. Our last king, whose image even but now appeared to us, was, as you know, by Fortinbras of Norway, dared to the combat, in which our valiant Hamlet did slay this Fortinbras, who by a sealed compact will well ratified by law and herald the did forfeit with his life all his lands, which he stood seized of to the conqueror. In carriage of the article designed his fell to Hamlet. Now, sir, young Fortinbras of unimproved metal, hot and full, hath in the skirts of Norway here and there sharked up a list of lawless resolutes, but to recover of us strong hand in terms compulsatory those foresaid lands, so by his father lost. And this, I take it, is the main motive of our preparations.
I think it be no other, but even so. Well may it sort that this portentous figure comes armed through the watch, so like our king. That was and is the question of these wars.
A mote it is to trouble the mind's eye. In the most high and palmy state of Rome, a little ere the mightiest Julius fell. But soft, behold, lo, where it comes again! I'll cross it, though it blast me. Stay, illusion, if thou hast any sound or use of voice. Speak to me, if there be any good thing to be done, that may to thee do ease and grace to me. Speak to me.
Caw-caw! Caw-caw!
If thou art privy, if thou art privy to thy country's fate, which happily foreknowing it may avoid, oh speak, if thou hast abhorred in thy life extorted treasure in the womb of earth, for which they say you spirits oft walk in death. Speak of it. Stay and speak. Stop it, Marcellus.
Shall I strike at it with my partisan?
Do, if it will not stand.
'Tis here.
'Tis here.
'Tis gone. We do it wrong, being so majestical, to offer it the show of violence. For it is as the air, invulnerable, and our vein blows malicious mockery.
It was about to speak when the cock crew.
And then it started like a guilty thing. Upon a fearful summons, I have heard the cock, that is the trumpet of the morn, sends the extravagant and erring spirit to his confine, and of the truth herein, this present object made probation.
Look, the morn, in russet mantle clad, walks over the dew in yon high eastward hill. Break we our watch up, and by my advice, let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For upon my life, this spirit dumb to us will speak to him. Do you consent we shall acquaint him with it, as needful in our loves, fitting our duty?
Let's do it, I pray. And I this morning know where we shall find him most conveniently. A room of state in the castle. Enter King Claudius, Queen Gertie, Hamlet, Polonius, Laertes, Voltimand, Cornelius, lords and attendants.
Though yet of Hamlet our dear brother's death, yet so far hath discretion fought with nature that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore our sometimes sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, with mirth in funeral and with dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife, nor have we herein barred, I'm having a stroke, your better customs would have freely gone with this affair along. For all our thanks, now follows that you know young Fortinbras, colleagued with the dream of his advantage, he hath not failed to pester us with message, importing the surrender of those lands lost by his father with all bonds of law. To our most valiant brother, so much for him. Now for ourselves and for this time of meeting, thus much the business is, we have here writ to Norway, almost said Normandy, Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, who impotent and bedrid scarcely hears of this his nephew's purpose, to suppress his further jate herein.
The gate.
And that the levies you, good Cornelius, and you, Voltimand, forebearers of this greeting to old Norway, giving to you no further personal power, farewell, and let your haste commend your duty.
And that in all things we will show our duty.
We doubt it nothing. Heartily farewell. Goodbye. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is it, Laertes? Loose your voice. I scrolled too far. What wouldst thou beg, Laertes? That shall not be my offer, not thy asking. The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and favor to return to France.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave by laboursome petition, and at last upon his will I sealed my hard consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Thy best graces spended at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet and my son.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet! All the dust from this just... Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted color off. Goth bitch! I look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled eyes seek for thy noble father's grave. Now thou knowest 'tis common. All that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity. Dads die, no need to be uneasy about it.
Aye, madam, it is common.
It do be. Why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam. Nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced breath. No, nor the fruitful river in the eye, nor the dejected Javier, together in all forms, moods, shapes of grief, that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play, but I have that within passeth show, these but the trappings and suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father, but you must know your father lost a father. That father lost his, and the survivor is bound to do obsequious, Jesus Christ, sorrow, but to preserve her in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. Take it to heart. Fee, 'tis a fault to heaven, a fault against the dead, a fault to nature, we pray you. Throw to earth this unprevaling woe, and think of us as a father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love. Now, for your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye.
Let thy not mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us. If you go back to college, I'll scream.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and fair reply. Come away.
Oh,
Exeunt all but Hamlet.
oh God, God, how very stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. But 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not to so excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to his mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven, visit her face too roughly, heaven and earth. Must I remember why she would hang on him, and yet within a month let me not think on it. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month, or ere those shoes were old, with which she followed my poor father's body, married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father, than I to Hercules within a month. Ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
I am glad to see you well, Horatio.
The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. And what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Marcellus?
A truant disposition good, my lord.
But what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I pray thee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. My father, methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man, take him for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw? Who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king and my father.
Season your admiration for a while, with an attent ear, till I may deliver, upon the witness of these gentlemen, this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear it.
2 nights together had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch been thus encountered. A figure like your father appears before them with solemn march, within his truncheon's length, whilst they distilled almost to jelly with the act of fear, stand dumb and speak not to him. This to me in dreadful secrecy impart they did, and I with them the 3rd night did keep watch. The apparition comes. I knew it to be your father.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watched.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did. But answer made it none. Yet once methought, when the morning cock had crowed, and the sound it shrunk in haste away and vanished from our sight.
'Tis very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true. And we did think it writ down in our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed, indeed, sirs. But this troubles me. Hold you watch tonight?
We do, my lord.
Armed, say you?
Armed, my lord.
Then saw you not his face?
Yes, my lord, he wore his beaver up.
Pale or red?
Nay, very pale.
And fixed his eyes upon you?
Most constantly.
I would I had been there.
It would have much amazed you.
Very like, very like. Stayed it long.
While one with moderate haste must tell 100.
Longer, longer.
Not when I sought.
I will watch tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape. If you hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still. Give it an understanding, but no tongue. Upon the platform, twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honor.
Your loves as mine to you. Farewell. My father's spirit in arms. All is not well. I doubt some foul play would the night were come. Till then sit still my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth overwhelm them to men's eyes.
A room in Polonius's house. Enter Laertes and Ophelia.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit, let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet in the trifling of his favor, a violet in the youth of primy nature, forward, not permanent, sweet, not lasting, the perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more, but so.
Fuck you, Ben. Think it no more, for nature crescent does not grow alone in thews and bulk, but as this temple waxes, the inward service of the mind and soul grows wild withal. Perhaps he loves you now, but you must fear his greatness weighed. His will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth. For on his choice depends the safety and the health of this whole state. Then, if he says he loves you, It fits your wisdom so far to believe it, as he in his particular act and place may give his saying deed. Then the main voice of Denmark goes with all. Then weigh what loss your honor may sustain. If with two created ear you list his songs, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity, fear it, Ophelia, fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire. Virtue itself escapes not calumnious strokes. That's why I'm having. Be wary then. Best safety lies in fear. Youth to itself rebels, though none else near.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep, as a watchman to my heart. But, good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven.
Oh, fear me not. I stay too long, but here my father comes. A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second leave.
There, my blessings with thee, and these few precepts in thy memory. See thou character, give thy thoughts no tongue. Be thou familiar, but with no means vulgar. Do not dull thy palm with entertainment. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy rich, not gaudy. For the apparel oft proclaims the man. Thus, above all, to thine own self be true. And it must follow, as the night of the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season this in thee.
Farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
What is it, Ophelia? What is it, Ophelia? He hath said to you.
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
'Tis told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have your audience been most free and bounteous. If it be so, as so 'tis put on me, what is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? You speak like a green girl. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Mary, I'll teach you. Think yourself a baby, that you have taken these tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tender yourself more dearly, or, not to crack the wind of the poor phrase, running it thus, you'll tender me a fool.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion.
Aye, fashion you may call it. Go to, go to.
He hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Ah, springs to catch woodcocks. I do know, when the blood turns, how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes, daughter, giving more light than heat, extinct in both, even in their promise, as it is a making, you must not take for fire. Do not believe his vows, for they are brokers, not of that dye which their investments show, but mere implorators of unholy suits, breathing like sanctified and pious bawds. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you so slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord. All right. Act 1, Scene 4, the platform. Enter Hamlet, Horatio, and Marcellus.
The air bites shrewdly. It is very cold.
It is the nipping of an eager air.
The king doth wake tonight.
Look, my lord, it comes.
Angels and ministers of grace defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or goblin damned, bring with thee heirs from heaven or blessed from hell. Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, king, father, royal Dane. Oh, answer me. Let me not burst in ignorance, but tell why thy canonized bones, hearsed in death, have burst their crements, sermons. Say, why is this? Wherefore, what should we do?
You can't see my hand. The ghost beckons Hamlet. It beckons you to go away with it. You alone.
Ah, look, with what courteous action it waves you to a more removed ground, but do not go with it.
No, by no means.
It will not speak, then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What should be the fear? I do not set my life in a pin's fee, and for the soul, what can it do to that, being a thing immortal as itself? It waves me forth again. I'll follow it. Go on. I'll follow thee.
They left. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct it.
Nay, let's follow him. All right.
All right.
Excited.
Are you going to read the ghost on this one, or?
Yes. Yeah, I want the ghost.
Okay.
Just to give you clarification for this next costume piece, earlier they have a line that says that the ghost is still in armor.
Right.
So, yeah. You ready?
I'm ready if you are.
All right.
I'll read, yeah. Scene 5, another part of the platform. Enter Ghost and Hamlet. Where wilt thou lead me? Speak, I'll go no further.
Follow.
I will.
It's hard to read. Follow. Listen.
Speak. I am bound to hear.
Okay, but are you going to be like all weird when I tell you?
What?
I'm your dad. But, ghost dad, dead mom. Basically, I'm just doomed like this for a bit, all right? I still love you, son. I'm just a little bit demon now, I guess. I gotta tell you, man, something hinky is going on with my death.
Oh, God.
You must revenge my foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder?
Yep, murder. It was pretty weird too, even for murder.
It was pretty too.
Yeah, it's pretty murder.
Haste me to know it, that I, with wings as swift as meditation, or the thoughts of love, may sweep to my revenge.
Honestly, I probably shouldn't, but pardon my Danish. I am royally pissed. Get it, royally? Oh, right, I didn't tell you. It's my brother. He did it.
Oh, my prophetic soul, my uncle.
I know, right? Now he's trying to bang my wife? Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off was there. I, actually legit loved her. He's just horny, methinks. I mean, your mom has got a rockin' bod, but I knew what I had. She's also pretty cool, bro. But remember, she's still a woman, and as I've always said, women are weak and kinda dumb by nature. Oh, and frail too, yeah.
That's 2020, Dad.
Anyway, in summary, your ugly uncle murdered me to cuckold my throne and wife. And I think if you revenge me, then I can go chill with St. Patrick. Adieu, Hamlet. Remember me. All right, sick.
Oh, all you hosts of heaven. Oh, earth, what else? A weird gangster, Dad? And shall I couple hell? Oh, fie. Hold my heart. And you, my sinews, grow not instant old, but bear me stiffly up. Remember thee. Aye, thou poor ghost, while memory holds a seat in this distracted globe, remember thee. And thy commandment all alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain, O most pernicious woman. O villain, smiley, damned villain. Thou that one may smile and be a villain. At least I'm sure it may be so in Denmark. So, uncle, there you are. Now to my word. It is adieu. Remember me. I have sworn it.
My lord!
Lord Hamlet!
Scroll. Heaven secure him!
So be it.
Hello, ho ho, my lord.
Hello, ho ho, boy. Come, bird, come.
How is my noble lord?
What news, my lord?
Oh, wonderful.
Uh, Good, my lord, tell it.
No, you'll reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven.
Nor I, my lord.
How say you then? Would heart of man once think it, but you'll be secret.
There needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this.
Why, right, and you are in the right. And so, without more circumstance at all, I hold it fit that we shake hands and part. You, as your business in desire, shall point you, for every man has business in desire, such as it is. And for mine own poor part, look you, I'll go pray.
These are but wild and whirling words, my lord.
I'm sorry they offend you heartily. Yes, faith, heartily.
There's no offense, my lord.
Yes, by St. Patrick, but there is, Horatio, and much offense too. Touching this vision here, it is an honest ghost that let me tell you, for your desire to know what is between us. Give me one poor request.
What is't, my lord? We will.
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, but swear it.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Nor I, my lord, in faith.
Upon my sword.
We have sworn, my lord, already.
Indeed. Upon my sword indeed.
Swear!
Aha! Boy, thou sayest though, art thou there, true penny? Come on, you'll hear this fellow for the carriage consent to swear.
Propose the oath, my lord.
Never to speak of this that you have seen. Swear by the sword.
Swear!
Hic et up. What? That's like Latin. Then we'll shift our ground. Come hither, gentlemen, and lay your hands upon my sword, never to speak of this that you have heard. Swear by my sword.
Dude, how long are you gonna make this?
Well said, old mole. Can't work in the earth so fast. A worthy pioneer. Once more remove, good friends.
Oh, day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
And therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt in your philosophy. But come, here, as before, never, so help you mercy, how strange or odd soe'er I beat myself, as I perchance hereafter shall think meet, to put an antic disposition on, that you, at such times, seeing me, never shall. With arms encumbered thus, or this head shake, or by pronounce of some doubtful phrase, as well, we know, or we could, and if we would, or if we list to speak, there be, and if they might, or such ambiguous giving out to note, that you no damn, that you know aught of me, this not to do. So grace and mercy at your most need help you swear.
We get it. You'll act crazy, just swear.
Rest, perturbed spirit. So, gentlemen. Oh wait, they swear. They swore. Yep.
Yeah, they swear.
So, gentlemen, with all my love, I do commend me to you. And what so poor a man as Hamlet is, may do to express his love and friending to you, God willing shall not lack. Let us go in together. And still your fingers on your lips, I pray. The time is out of joint. Oh, cursed spite, that ever I was born to set it right. Nay, come, let's go together. End of Act 1.
Act 2, Scene 1. A room in Polonius's house. Enter Polonius and Rinaldo.
Give him this money and take these notes, Rinaldo.
I will, my lord.
You shall do marvelous wisely, good Rinaldo, before you visit him, to make inquire of his behavior.
My lord, I did intend it.
Marry, well said, and very well said. Look you, sir, inquire me first what Danskers are in Paris, and how and who, what means and where they keep, what company at what expense. Do you mark this, Rinaldo?
Aye, very well, my lord.
And there put him. What fondries you make, marry none so rake, as may dishonor him, take heed of that. But, sir, such wanton, wild, and unusual slips as our companions noted and must known to youth and liberty.
As gaming, my lord.
Aye, or drinking, fencing, swearing, quarreling, drabbing, you may go so far.
My lord, that would dishonor him.
Faith, no, as you may season it in the charge. You must not put another scandal on him that he is open to incontinency. Yep, that's not my meaning, but breathe his faults so quaintly that they may seem the taints of liberty.
All right, I get it. But, my good lord.
Wherefore should you do this?
Aye, my lord, I would know that.
Marry, sir, here's my drift, and I believe it is a fetch of wit you are laying these slight sullies on my son. As 'twere a little solid, I the working, mark you. Your party in converse, him you would sound, be assured. He closes with you in this consequence, good sir, or so, or friend, or gentleman, according to the phrase or the condition of man and country.
Very good, my lord.
And then, sir, does he this? He does. What was I? He literally says what was I about to say?
Yeah.
By the mass, I was about to say something. Where did I leave?
At closes in the consequence. At friend or so and gentleman.
At closes in the consequence, I, marry. He closes thus, I know the gentleman. I saw him yesterday, or I the other day, or then, with such, as you say, there was a gaming, there overtook and rouse. See you now, your bait of falsehoods, take this carp of truth. Lost my place. By in directions, find directions out. So by my former lecture and advice, shall you, my son. You have me, have you not?
My lord, I have thee.
God be with you, you farewell.
Good, my lord.
Observe his inclination in yourself.
I shall, my lord.
Farewell. Enter Ophelia. Perfect. How now, Ophelia? What's the matter?
Oh, my lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet with his doublet all unbraced, no hat upon his head, his stockings fell, ungattered, and down gived me to his ankle, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous in purport, as he had been loosed out of hell, to speak of ours, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love.
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm. Long stayed he so, at last, a little shaking of my arm, and thrice his head thrust waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound, as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go. He seemed to find his way without his eyes, for out of the doors he went without their helps, and to the last bended their light on me.
Come, go with me, I will seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property foredoes itself. I am sorry. What, have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not quoted him. Come, we go to the king. This must be known, which, being kept close, might move. More grief to hide than hate to utter love. End Act 2, Scene 1. A room in the castle. Enter King Claudius, Queen Gertie, Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and attendants.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation, so call it? Sith nor the exterior nor the inward man resembles that it was, what it should be, more than his father's death, that thus hath put him. so much from the understanding of himself, so by your companies, to draw him unto pleasures, and to gather, so much as from occasion you may glean, whether aught to us unknown affects him thus, that open lies within our remedy.
I'm sorry, I just thought of something for Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, and it's up here. I'm fucking stupid. My son hath talked about you two douches a lot, so you are probably his only friends. By the way, don't know if you noticed, but we are the king and queen, so you pretty much will be taken care of for life.
Both your majesties, might by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent to lay our service freely at your feet, to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern. Exeunt Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and some attendants. Enter Polonius.
The ambassadors from Norway, my good lord, are joyfully returned.
Thou still hast been the father of good news.
Have I, my lord? I assure my good liege, and I do think, or else the brain of mine hunts not the trail of policy so sure, as if hath used to do, that I have found the very case of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That do I long to hear.
Give first admittance to the ambassadors. My news shall be the fruit to that great feast.
Thyself do grace to them and bring them in. He tells me, my dear Gertrude, he hath found the head and source of all your son's distemper.
I mean, his dad died and we got married pretty quickly after, so he's probably still bitchy about that.
Well, we shall sift him. Re-enter Polonius with Voltimand and Cornelius. Welcome, my good friends. Say, Voltimand, what from our brother Norway?
Most fair return the greetings and desires. Upon our first, he sent us to suppress his nephew's levies, which to him appeared to be preparation against the Polak. But better looked into, he truly found it was against your highness, whereat grieved that so his sickness, age, and impotence was falsely borne in hand, sent out arrests on Fortinbras, with an entreaty herein further shown. Giving up paper. There you go. That it might please you to give quiet pass. Through your dominions for this enterprise, on such regards of safety and allowance, are therein as therein are set down.
It likes us well. Meantime, we thank you for your well-took labor. Go to your rest. At night we'll feast together. Most welcome home.
This business is well ended, my liege and madam, so expostulate late. What majesty should be, what duty is, why day and night, night. So they just night. Night, and time is time. We're nothing but to waste night, day and time. I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad I call it. To define true madness, what is't but to be nothing else but mad. But let that go.
Stop with the artsy-fartsy language and focus, lard ass.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity. And pity 'tis true. Pity 'tis true. A foolish figure. For this effective comes by cause. Thus it remains, and the remainder thus perpend. I have a daughter, while she is mine, who, in her duty and obedience, Mark hath given me this. Now, gather and sunrise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautiful Ophelia. That is an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase, but you shall hear thus. In her excellent bosom, these and see.
Hamlet wrote this shit.
Good madam, stay a while, I will be faithful. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best. Oh, most best believe it. Adieu, thine evermore, most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him, Hamlet.
But how hath she received his love?
Oh, shit. What do you think of me?
As a man of faithful and honorable?
I would fain prove so, but what might you think? When I had seen this hot love on the wing as I perceived it, what might you think? No, I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I do bespeak, Lord Hamlet is a prince, out of thy star, this must not be. And then I precepts gave her, what she should lock herself from this resort. Admits no messengers, receives no tokens, which done, she took the fruits of my advice. Pointing to his head and shoulder, all right. Take from this and this. If this be otherwise, if circumstance leads me, I will find where truth is hid, though it were hid indeed within the center.
How may we try it further?
You know, sometimes he walks 4 hours together, here in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
And at such a time I'll loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arras, then. Mark the encounter. If he love her not, and be not from his reason fallen thereon, let me be no assistant for a state, but keep a farm and carters.
We will try it.
He's coming over here, and look, he's reading it like a fucking nerd.
Oh, shit. Away! I do beseech you. Both away. I'll board him presently. Exeunt King Claudius, Queen Gertie, and attendants. Enter Hamlet, reading. Oh, give me leave. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God a mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent well, you are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so an honest man.
Honest, my lord.
Aye, sir. To be honest, as this world goes, is to be a man, one picked out of 10,000.
That's very true, my lord.
For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being a god-kissed carrion, have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to it.
How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter. Yet he knew me not at first. He said I was a fishmonger. He is far gone, and truly in my youth I suffered much extremely for love, very near this. I'll speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words, words, words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean, the matter that you read, my lord.
Slanders, sir. For the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards, that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes purging thick in amber, and plum tree gum that they have plentiful lack of, wit, together with most weak hams, all which, sir, I hold it not honestly to have it thus set down for yourself, sir. Should be old as I am, if like a crab, you could go backward.
Though this be madness, there is method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that is out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. A happiness that often madness hits on. I will leave him, and suddenly contrive the means of meeting between him and my daughter. My honorable lord, I will most humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take anything from me, anything that I will accept more willingly part withal. Accept my life. Accept my life, of course, accept my life.
Fare you well, my lord.
These tedious old fools.
Enter Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. You go to seek the Lord Hamlet. There he is.
God save you, sir.
Sure, a Tiger Cubs hat. My most dear lord.
My most dear lord.
My excellent good friends, good lads, how do ye both?
as the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in it, in that we are not over happy. On fortune's cap, we are not the very button.
Nor the sides of her shoe, soles of her shoe.
Neither, my lord.
Then you live about her waist or in the middle of her favors.
Faith, her privates we.
In the secret parts of fortune. Oh, most true, she is a strumpet. What the news?
None, my lord, but that the world's grown honest.
Then is doomsday near, but your news is not true. Let me question more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord.
Denmark's a prison.
Then the world is one.
A goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons, Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why then? 'Tis none to you, for there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison.
Why then your ambition makes it one? 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Then are our beggars' bodies and our monarchs and outstretched heroes the beggars' shadows. Shall we to the court? For by my fay I cannot reason.
We'll wait upon you.
No such matter. I will not sort you with the rest of my servants, for to speak to you like an honest man, I am most dreadfully attended. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord. No other occasion.
Beggar that I am even poor in thanks. But I thank you. And sure, dear friends, my thanks are too dear a halfpenny. Were you not sent for? Come, deal justly with me. Come, nay, speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Why, anything, but to the purpose you were sent. And there is a kind of confession in your looks, which your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me. But let me conjure you by the rights of our fellowship, and by what more dear a better proposer could charge you withal, be even indirect with me. Whether you were sent for, or no.
What say you?
Nay then, I have an eye for you. If you love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery and your secrecy to the king. And queen moult no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth. And indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that, with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave overhanging firmament, what a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason! How infinite in faculty, in form, in moving, how express and admirable! And yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not. No, nor woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh then, when I said man delights me not?
To think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you. We courted them on the way, and hither are they coming to offer you service.
What players are they?
Even those you were wont to take delight in, the tragedians of the city.
How chances if they travel their residence both in reputation and profits was better both ways?
I think their inhibition comes by the means of the late innovation.
Do they hold the same estimation they did when I was in the city? Are they so followed?
No, indeed, are they not?
How comes it? Do they grow rusty?
Nay, their endeavor keeps in the wonted place. These are now the fashion, and so berattle the common stages. So they call them, that many wearing rapiers are afraid of goose gills and dare scare come thither.
Thither.
Thither, yeah.
What are they, children? Who maintains them? How are they escorted? Will they not say afterwards that they should grow themselves to common players, as it is most like, if their means are no better, their writers do them wrong, to make them exclaim against their own succession?
Faith, There has been much to do on both sides, and the nation holds it no sin to tear them to controversy. There was, for a while, no money bid for argument, unless the poet and the player went to cuffs in the question.
Is it possible?
Oh, there has been much throwing about of brains.
Do the boys carry it away?
Aye, they do, my lord. Hercules in his load too.
It is not very strange, for mine uncle is king of Denmark, and those that would make mows of him while my father lived give 20, 40, 50, and 100 ducats apiece for his picture in little. Splud? What the hell? What does splud mean?
Blood.
Splud? Okay,
Blood.
and we're gonna go with it. Splud. There is something in this more than natural, if philosophy could find it out.
There are the players.
Gentlemen, if you are welcome to Elsinore. Your hands come then. The opportunity is welcome of fashion and ceremony. Let me comply with you in this garb, lest my extent to the players, which, I tell you, must show fairly outward, should more appear like entertainment than yours. You are welcome, but my uncle, father, and aunt mother are deceived.
And what, my dear lord?
I am but mad north-northwest, and the wind is southerly. I know a hawk from a handsaw.
Enter Polonius. Well, be with you, gentlemen.
Hark you, Guildenstern, and you too, at each ear a hearer. That great baby, you see not, oh my God. That great baby, you see there is not yet out of the swaddling clouts.
Happily, he's the second time come to them, for they say an old man is twice a child.
I will prophesy he comes to tell me of the players' market. You say right, sir. Oh, Monday morning, 'twas so indeed.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I have news to tell you. When Rascusian was an actor in Rome.
The actors are come hither, my lord.
Buzz, buzz.
Upon mine honor.
They came each actor on his ass.
The best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, pastoral, comical, historical, pastoral, tragical, historical, tragical, comical, historical, pastoral, sense indivisible, or poem unlimited.
Oh, Jephthah, judge of Israel. Oh, God, that's a religious term. Oh, God. What a treasure hadst thou.
What a treasure had he, my lord.
Why? One fair daughter and no more, the which he loved passing well.
Still on my daughter.
Am I not i' the right, old
Yes. Yeah.
Jephthah?
If you call me Jephthah, my lord, I have a daughter that I love passing well.
Nay, that follows not.
What follows then, my lord?
Why, as by lot God wot. And then, you know, it came to pass as most like it was. Enter 4 or 5 players. You are welcome, masters. Welcome all. We'll have a speech straight. Come, give us taste of your quality. Come, a passionate speech.
What speech, my lord?
I heard thee speak to me a speech once, but it was never acted. 'Twas caviar to the general, but it was as I received it, and others, whose judgments in such matters cry to the top of mine, an excellent play, well digested in the scenes, set down with as much modesty as coming. If it live in your memory, begin. At this line, let me see, the rugged Pyrrhus, like the Hyrcanian beast. It is not so. It begins with Pyrrhus, the rugged Pyrrhus, and he whose sable arms, black as his purpose, did the night resemble, when he laid couched in the ominous horse. Yada, yada, yada. You know the speech. So proceed you. I skipped forward.
Ha ha ha. For God, my lord, well spoken, with God accent and good discretion and cheating.
Hold on.
The man said, hold on.
You know, an actor. Actors wear clip-on ties, yeah. Anon he finds him, striking too short at the Greeks.
This is too long.
It shall to the barbers with your beard, prithee, say on, for he's for a jig, or a tale of body, or he sleeps, say on, come to Hecuba.
But who? Oh, had not seen the mobled queen.
The mobled queen.
That's good. Mobled queen is good.
Run barefoot up and down, threatening to flames, with unbisontheum clout upon that head, where Leighton diadem stood, and for a robe top-notch actors. Like, these guys are just the best.
Yeah.
A blanket, and the alarm of fear caught up, but if the gods themselves did see her then, when she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport, in mincing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamour that she made, unless things mortal moved them not at all, would have then milch the burning eyes of heaven and the passion in the gods.
Look, whether he has not turned his color and has tears in his eyes, pray you, no more.
"'Tis well. I have thee speak out the rest soon. Good my lord, will you see the players well bestowed? Do you hear? Let them be well used for. Let them be well used. For they are the abstract and brief chronicles of the time. After your death, they were better to have bad epitaph than their ill report while you live.
My lord, I will use them according to their desert.
God's bodykins, man, much better. Use every man after his desert. Is it
Desert.
desert? All right. And who should escape whipping? Shut the fuck up.
Company joke, man.
Use them after your own honor and dignity, the less. They deserve, the more merit is in your bounty. Take them in.
Come, sirs.
Follow him, friends, and we'll hear a play on the morrow. Exit Polonius with all the players but the first. Do you hear me, an old friend? Can you play the murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lord.
We'll have it tomorrow night. You could, for a need, study the speech of some dozen or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert in it, could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. Follow that lord and look you mock him, not. Exit first player. My good friends, I'll leave you till night. You are welcome to Elsinore.
Good, my lord.
Aye, so, God be with thee. Exit Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Now I am alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave I am. Am I? Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in fiction and a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit, a broken voice, and yet his whole function suiting with forms of his conceit, and all for nothing? Yet I, a dull and muddy-mettled rascal, peak like a John's a dream, unpregnant of my cause, and can say nothing. Who calls me villain, breaks my platycos, plucks off my beard, and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie of the throat, as deep as to the lungs? Who does me this? Ha! Oh, vengeance. God damn, the speech is long. Why, that an ass am I? This is most brave, that I, the son of dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must, like a whore, unpack my heart with words, and fall a-cursing, like a very drab scullion. Fie upon it, foe! About my brain I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have by the very cunning of the scene been struck so with the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions, that I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before my uncle. I'll observe his looks, I'll tend to him to the quick. The spirit that I have seen may be the devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape, and perhaps I'll have the grounds. More relative than this, the play's the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. End Act 2. Scene 1, a room in the castle. Enter King Claudius, Queen Gertie, Polonius, Ophelia, Rosencrantz, and Guildenstern.
And can you, by no drift of circumstance, get from him why he puts on this confusion, grading so harshly all his days of quiet with turbulent and dangerous lunacy?
He does confess he himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak.
Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but with a crafty madness keeps aloof when we would bring him on to some confession of his true state.
But was he a nice young man?
More like a gentleman.
Oh, yeah. But with so much forcing of his disposition.
I don't want to say this word, Ben. But of our demands, most of his reply.
I didn't put that one in, I swear.
I know, but I don't want to say it.
Yeah, that's fair. You dumbasses couldn't distract him.
Madam, it so fell out that certain players were o'erwrought on the way. Of these we told him, and there did seem in him a kind of joy to hear of it. They are about the court, and as I think, they have already ordered this knight to play before him.
'Tis most true, and he beseech me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge, and drive his purpose on to these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Exeunt Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Sweet Gertrude, leave us too, for we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he, as 'twere by accident, may here affront Ophelia, her father and myself lawful espials, will so bestow ourselves that seeing unseen we may of their encounter frankly judge, and gather by him, as he is behaved, if it be the affliction of his love or no, that thus he suffers for.
Fine. Spy on my son. You guys suck. I hope whatever Beavis and Buttfuck have planned will keep you God damn it. Will help you keep and retain your most holy virgin honor.
Madam, I wish it may.
Exit, Queen Gertie. Ophelia, walk you here, gracious, so please you, we will bestow ourselves.
To Ophelia.
Read on this book, that show you an exercise may color your loneliness. We are oft to blame in this. 'Tis too much proved that with devotion's visage and pious actions, we do sugar o'er the devil himself.
Oh, 'tis too true. How smart a lash that speech doth give my conscience. The harlot's cheek, beautied with plastering art, is not more ugly to the thing that helps it than is my deed to my most painted word. Oh, heavy burthen.
I hear him coming. Let's withdraw, my lord. Oh, God. I'm sorry. This one's a long one.
Oh, I know what it is, so you're fine. Should I just, yeah. To be.
Oh, I'm reading a book and I'm lonely.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear, to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will? It makes us rather bear those ills we have, than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought. In enterprises of great pith and moment, with this regard their currents turn away, and lose the name of action. Soft you now, The fair Ophelia, nymph, in thy orisons, be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well, well, well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I long to redeliver. I pray you now, receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did. And with them, words of so sweet breath composed, as made of the things more rich their perfume lost. Take these, again, for to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor, when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Ha! Are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Aye, truly, for the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd than the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. This was sometimes a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord. You made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. I loved you not.
I was more the deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest. What should such fellows as I do crawling between earth and heaven? We are errant knaves all. Believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where is your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in's own house. Farewell.
Oh, help him, you sweet heavens!
If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. Thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery. Go. Farewell. Or if thou wilt needs marry, marry a fool. For wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery. Go, and quickly too. Farewell.
Oh, heavenly powers, restore him!
I say, we will have no more marriages, though those that are married already, all but one, shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery, go.
Exit Hamlet. Oh, what a noble mind is here overthrown! The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy of rose of the fair state, and glass of fashion in the mold of form, and I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that suck the honey of his music vows. Now see that noble and most sovereign reason, blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me! To what have I seen? See what I see.
Love,
Re-enter Queen Claudius and Polonius.
love, his affections do not that way tend, nor what he spake, though it lacked from a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul, o'er which his melancholy sits in brood, and I do doubt the hatch in the discourse will be some danger. He shall with speed to England, for the demand of our neglected tribute, haply the seas and countries different, with variable objects, shall expel this something settled matter in his heart, whereon his brain shall beating puts him thus, from fashion of himself. What think you on it?
It shall do well. But yet I do believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. How now, Ophelia? You need not tell us what Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. My lord, do as you please, but if you hold it fit after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him, to show his grief. Let her be round with him, and I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all their conference. If she find him not, to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness's great ones must unwatched go. Exeunt.
End of scene 1.
Scene 2. A hall in the castle. Enter Hamlet and the players.
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounce it to you, trippingly on the tongue, nor do not saw the air too much with your hands, but thus use it all gently. It offends me to the soul to hear Robustion's periwag, pated fellow tear a passion to tatters, who, for the most part, are capable of nothing but inexplicable dumb shows and noise. I would have such a fellow whipped for overdoing. Pray you, avoid it.
I warrant your honor.
Be not too tame neither, but let your own discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word to the action.
I hope we have reformed that indifferently with us, sir.
Oh, reform it altogether. Go, make you ready. How now, my lord? I will the king hear this piece of work.
And the queen too, that presently.
Bid the players make haste. Will you two help hasten them?
We will, my lord.
What ho, Horatio!
Oh shit, Horatio. Right.
Yeah,
Here,
this scene's a lot.
Lord, at your service.
Horatio, thou art e'en as just a man as e'er my conversation coped withal.
Oh, my dear lord.
Nay, do not think I flatter. For what advancement may I hope from thee? That no revenue hast but thy God damn it. That no revenue hast but thy good spirits to feed and clothe thee. And best are those whose blood and judgment are so well commingled that they are not ripe for that they are not a pipe for fortune fingers. Give me that man, that is not passion's slave, and I will wear him in my heart's core, aye, in my heart of heart, as I do with thee. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene of it comes near to the circumstance which I have told thee of my father's death. I prithee, when thou seest the act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe mine uncle. If his occulted guilt do not itself unkennelled in one speech, it is a damned ghost that we have seen.
Well, my lord, if he steal aught whilst this play is playing, escape detecting, I will pay the theft.
They are coming to the play. I must be idle. Get you to a place.
Danish march, a flourish, enter King Claudius, King Bertie, Polonius, Ophelia, Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and others. How fares our cousin?
No, it's you.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent in faith. Of the chameleon's dish, I eat the air, promise crammed, and cannot feed capon so.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine now. Be the players ready?
Yeah. Aye, my lord, they stay upon your patience.
Son, sit here.
No, good mother. Here's metal more attractive.
Whore.
There's so many characters.
Now imagine doing this live.
Oh, ho! How do you mark that?
Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean my head upon your lap.
Aye, my lord.
Do you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
That's a fair thought to lie between a maid's legs.
What is, my lord?
Nothing.
You are merry, my lord.
Who, I?
Aye, my lord.
What should a man do but be merry? For look you how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within these 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord.
So long. Nay, then let the devil wear black, for I'll have a suit of sables. Oh, heavens, died 2 months ago and not forgotten yet. Then there's hope. A great man's memory may outlive his life half a year, but, by'r the lady, he must build churches. Or else shall he suffer not thinking on, with the hobby horse whose epitaph for oh, the hobby horse is forgot.
The dumb show enters.
Hot Boys played. Yeah. Yeah, this is still Hamlet. Okay. We shall know by this fellow the players cannot keep counsel.
You are
They'll
not.
tell
You are not. I'll mark the play.
For us and our tragedy, here, stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
Is this a prologue or the posy of a ring?
Started to do Ophelia. 'Tis brief, my lord.
As woman's love.
All right. Enter two players, king and queen. Bro, it doth been a while, my ho, since I have obtained private time with thee, but thou must knoweth that you're my main ho.
Oh, my king, like I love as thou too, but for some reason I distrusteth thine ass. Thou hast been so fucking pouty, thus my suspicion of you, but as thou hath stated many times over, the weaker sex doth act on multitudes of irrationalities.
Ho, I lovest thine, but if my time doth end, please feel to marry again. Just like, preferably, not my bro though, bro.
Oh my God, I can't even believe it that would say that. He thinks like never.
Wormwood.
If we think to remarry, I would have like be killingest my husband ago and like fuck that. Shit.
Bro, I knowest thine thinks that, but bro, you'llest probably not thinkest that when me self is deadest.
Okay, I think I'll swear it to you that I'll die before I fucking remarry.
If she should break it now.
Shit, thine do beest dedicated, but for now leavest me in my man cave. I must sleep.
Sleeps. Oh my god, I really hope if nothing happens. Exit.
Madam, how like you this play?
The queen talks weird.
Oh, but she'll keep her word.
Oh, fuck, I don't have a crown. Damn it. uh,
I think we sort of prepared for this.
Wait, no, I got it. This will just also be a crown. There we go. Got it. Crown. Have you heard the argument? Is there no offense in it?
No, they do, but just poison and jest. No offense in the world.
What do you call the play?
The Mousetrap. Mary, how? Tropically, this play is the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago is the Duke's name. His wife, Baptista, you shall see anon. 'Tis a knavish piece of work. But what? Oh, that. This one, Lucianus, nephew to the king.
You are as good as chorus, my lord.
I could interpret between you and your love if I could see the puppets stallying.
You are keen, my lord, you are keen.
It would cost you a groaning to take off my edge.
Still better and worse.
So you must take your husband's. Begin, murderer.
Oh wait, no, he used poison, damn it. Fuck it, it's fine. Thoughts black and hands apt. Drugs fit and time agreeing. Confederate season, else no creature seeing. Now mixture rank of midnight wheat collected, with Hecate's band thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic and dire property on wholesome life usurp immediately.
Pours the poison into the sleeper's ears. He poisons him in the garden for a state. His name's Gonzago. The story is extant and writ in choice Italian. You shall see anon how the murderer gets the love of Gonzago's wife.
The king rises.
What? Frighted with false fire.
What's going on, guys?
Give over the play.
Give me some light. Away. Lights. That's you.
Why? Let the stricken deer go weep, the heart ungalled play, for some must watch, while some must sleep, so runs the world away. Oh, good Horatio, I'll take the ghost's word for £1,000. Didst perceive?
Very well, my lord.
Upon the talk of the poisoning.
I did very well note him.
Come, some music, come the recorders. For if the king like not the comedy, why then be like he likes it not. Purdy. Come, some music.
Re-enter Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Good Lord, vouchsafe me a word with you.
Sir, a whole history.
The king, sir,
Aye, sir, what of him?
and his retirement marvelous distempered.
With drink, sir.
No, my lord, rather with choler.
Your wisdom should show itself more richer to signify this to his doctor. For me to put him to this purgation would perhaps plunge him into far more choler.
Good, my lord. Put your discourse into some frame, and start not so wildly from my affair.
I am tame, sir. Pronounce.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to you.
You are welcome.
Nay, good my lord, this courtesy is not of the right breed. If it shall please you to make me a wholesome answer, I will do your mother's commandment. If not, your pardon and my return shall be the end of my business.
Bruh, don't do my mom. Sir, I cannot.
What, my lord?
Make you a wholesome answer, my wits diseased. But, sir, such answer as I can make, you shall command. But to the matter, my mother, you say.
This, then, thus she says, your behavior hath struck her into amazement and admiration.
Oh, wonderful son, that can so astonish a mother. But is there so sequel at the heels of this mother's admiration? In part.
She desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed.
We shall obey. Were she 10 times our mother. Have you any further trade with us?
My lord, you once did love me.
So I do still, by these pickers and stealers.
Good, my lord. What is the case of your distemper? You do surely bar the doors upon your own liberty, if you deny your griefs to your friend.
Sir, I lack advancement.
How can that be, when you have the voice of the king himself for your succession in Denmark?
Aye, but sir, while the grass grows, the proverb is something musty. Oh, the recorders! Let me see one. Withdraw with you. Why do you go about to recover the wind of me, as if you would drive me into a toil?
Oh, my lord, if my duty be too told, my love is too unmannerly.
I do not well understand that. Will you play upon this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
I do beseech you.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
'Tis as easy as lying. Govern these vintages with your lingers and thumb. Give it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most eloquent music. Look you, these are the stops.
But these cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Why, look you now, how unworthy a thing you make of me. You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would pluck out the heart of my mystery. You would sound me from the lowest note to the top of my compass. Do you think I am easier to be played on than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will, though you can front me, yet you cannot play upon me. God bless you, sir.
My lord, the queen would like to speak with you, and presently.
Do you see yonder cloud that's almost in shape of a camel?
By the mass, and 'tis like a camel, indeed.
Methinks it is like a weasel.
It is backed like a weasel.
Or like a whale.
Very like a whale.
Then I will come to my mother by and by.
I will say so.
By and by is easily said.
Exit Polonius.
Leave me, friends.
Exit all but Hamlet.
'Tis now the very witching time of night. Now to my mother. O heart, lose not thy nature. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none. How in my words soever she be shent. To give them seals never, my soul content.
All right. All right.
Scene 3, a room in the castle. Enter Claudius, Rosencrantz, and Guildenstern.
I like him not, nor stands it safe with us to let his madness rage. Therefore prepare you. I, your commission will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall along with you the terms of our estate may not endure. Hazard and so dangerous as doth hourly grow out of his madness.
That spirit upon whose will depend and rests the lives of many, the seas of majesty dies not alone, never alone, did the king sigh, but with a general groan.
Arm you, I pray you, to this speedy voyage, for we with fetters put upon this sphere, which now goes to free-footed. We will haste us.
Haste us.
Exit Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Enter Polonius.
Is that me?
Yeah. Or wait. No, that's me.
Yeah, it's like,
My lord, he's going to his mother's closet. Behind the arras I'll convey myself, to hear the process, and warrant she'll tax him home. Fare you well, my liege. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed, and tell you what I know.
Thanks, my dear lord.
Exit Polonius.
Oh, my offense is rank it, smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it, a brother's murder. Pray can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will. My stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? My fault is past, but, oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive my foul murder? That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder, my crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense. Try what repentance can. What can it not? Yet what can it when one cannot repent? O wretched state! O bosom black as death! O limited soul that, struggling to be free, art more engaged. Help, angels! Make assay! Thou, stubborn knees and heart with strings of steel, all may be well.
Now might I do it, Pat. Now he is praying, and now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven, and so I am revenged. A villain kills my father, and for that I, his sole son, do the same villain send to heaven. Oh, this is hire and salary, not revenge. He took my father grossly, full of bread, and with all his crimes broad blown as flush in May. And how his audit stands for who knows safe heaven. Am I then revenged? To take him in this purging of his soul, when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No! When he is drunk asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, that has no relish salvation in it. Then trip him, and his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul may be as damned and black as hell whereto it goes. My mother stays. This psychic but prolongs thy sickly days.
My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
Scene 4, Act 3, Scene 4. The Queen's Closet. Enter Queen Gertie and Polonius.
He will come straight. Look you lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with. Pray you be round with him.
Mother, mother, mother!
I'm not stupid, just hide. The dumbass luckily just yelled before. He came in and, oh, hi, Hammy.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
You are offending your father.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
You dare speak to your mother with that tongue?
Go, go, you question with a wicked tongue.
I will slap you, you disrespectful son of a me.
What's the matter now?
Have you forgotten your sweet mother?
No. By the rod, no, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and, would it were not so, you are my mother.
Oh my God, I'll just shut up then, since I'm so stupid.
Come, come, and sit you down. You shall not budge. Not till I set you up a glass where you may see the innermost part of you.
Oh my God, he's gonna fucking kill me!
What? Oh, help, help, help.
How now? A rat? Dead for a ducat. Dead!
Ah. Oh, how I am slain.
What the hell did you do?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
Dude, you killed him. That's gotta be bloody.
A bloody deed, almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
Kill a king?
Aye, lady, 'twas my word. Ah, it wasn't the king. Huh. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell, I took thee for thy better. Let me wring your heart, for so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff, if damned custom have not brassed it so, that it is proof and bulwark against
What
sense.
the hell did I do, my dear sweet child?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose from fair forehead of an innocent love, and sets a blister there, makes marriage vows as false as Dicer's oath. Oh, such a deed, as from the body of contraction plucks the very soul, and sweet religion makes a rhapsody of words. Heaven's face doth glow. Ye, this solidarity in compound mass, with tristful visage, as against the doom, is thought sick an act. Is thought sick at the act.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at the
Yeah.
wrong. Okay, a lot of words. I get that, but like, what did I do? Oh, shit.
Look here. Upon this picture, and on this, the counter for presentment of two brothers. Fuck. See what a grace was seated on this brow, Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten and command, where every god did seem to set his seal, to give the world assurance of man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, with a mildewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Ha! Have you eyes? You cannot call it love, for at your age the heyday and the blood is tame. It's humbled, and waits upon the judgment. And what judgment would step from this to this? It reserved some quantity of choice. What devil was't? That thou hast cozened you at hoodman blind, eyes without feeling, feeling without sight, ears without hand or eyes, smelling sands all. Oh shame! Where is thy blush, rebellious hell? To flaming youth let virtue be as wax, and melt in her own fire, proclaim no shame.
My God, I can't believe you would even say that. Like, I can't even see my soul and shit, and it's not looking great.
Nay, but to live in the rank of sweat of enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty.
Fucking stop! I am your mother. It's a phase. You're like 12. I know your dad was hot. Stop being so bad.
A murderer and a villain. A slave is not the 20th part of the tith of your precedent lord, a vice of kings, a cut purse of the empire and rule, that from a shelf of precious diadem stole and put it in his pocket.
Oh.
A king of shreds and patches, enter ghost. Save me and hover over me with your wing. Wait, hold on. gotta make it realistic. Save me and hover over me with your wings, you heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure?
The fuck are you talking about? You're going mad.
Do you not come with your tardy son to chide that lapse in time and passion lets go by? The importance of acting in your dread command, oh say!
Oh, bro, she can't see me. Just chill out. It's still my wife and your mom. She's just sitting there freaking out. What did I always say about women?
The weaker
Be
seek
crazy.
on multiple irrationalities.
You gotta try and have an actual conversation, dude. You can't just come in with the accusations. I like this fire you got going on. Just, come down with your mom. You can still use that fire to slash your uncle to bits, but for now, ask her how she is doing.
How is it with you, lady?
Don't how is it with you, me? What is going on with you? What the fuck are you talking to?
On him. On him. Look, you, how pale he glares. Do not look upon me, lest with this piteous action you convert my stern effects than what I have to do. will want truant color, tears perchance for blood.
What?
Do you see nothing there?
I see jack shit.
Nor did you nothing hear.
Just you, your crazy ass.
Why, look you there, look how it steals away. My father in the habit as he lived. Look where he goes even now out the portal.
Are you high? Did you take my ecstasy?
Ecstasy. Ecstasy, my pulse, as yours doth temperately keep time, and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered, but my madness speaks. It will but skin and film the ulcerous place, whilst rank corruption mining all within, infects unseen. Confess yourself to heaven, repent what's past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds. Make them ranker. Forgive me, this is my virtue.
Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
Oh, throw away the worst part of it, and live the purer with the other half. Good night, but go not to mine's uncle bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. Once more, good night. And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For this same Lord, I do repent. But heaven hath pleased it so, to punish me with this, and this with me, that I must their scourge and minister I will bestow him, and will answer well the death I gave him. So again, good night. I must be cruel, only to be kind. Thus, bad begins and worse remains behind. One word more, good lady.
You talk so much that I kind of fade in and out. What did you want me to do?
Not this by no means, that I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed, pinch Watan on your cheek, call you his mouse, and let him, for a pair of reechy kisses, or paddling in the neck with his damned fingers, make you to ravel all this matter out, that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft. 'Twere good you let him know such dearing concernings hide. You would do so? No, and despite of sense and secrecy, unpeg the basket of thy house's top. Let birds fly, and, like the famous ape, to try conclusions in the basket creep, and break your own neck down.
You have killed me right now. Not gonna lie, you're pretty much correct. I don't know as many words as you because I'm a feeble woman, so I'll let you keep talking.
I must to England, you know that?
Oop, I forgot about it, yeah.
There's letters sealed, and to my schoolfellows, who I entrust will adders fanged. They bear the mandate. They must sweep my way, and marshal me to knavery. Let it work. For 'tis the sport to have the engineer hoist with his own petard. And shall go hard, mother. Good night. Indeed, this counsellor is now most still, most secret and most grave, who was in life a foolish prating knave. Come, sir, to drag toward an end with you. Good night, mother. Gotta take this body away.
And scene.
Act 4, Scene 1. A room in the castle. Enter Claudius, Queen Gertie, Rosencrantz, and Guildenstern.
There's matter in these sighs, these profound heaves. You must translate. 'Tis fit we understand them. Where is your son?
Scram, pussies.
Exeunt Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
I have seen some crazy shit. Where's the wine?
What? Gertrude, how does Hamlet?
The guy's gone crazy. He whipped it out and stabbed Polonius. His sword, I mean.
Oh, heavy deed. His liberty is full of threats to all, to you yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered, this mad young man? But so much was our love, we would... Started choking on my saliva.
King.
We would not understand what was most fit, but like the owner of a foul disease, to keep it from divulging, let it feed, even on the pith of life. Where is he gone?
He's dumping the body in the river. He thinks he's some kind of hero. He was talking shit on Polonius minutes after he murdered him, but despite that, he's still crying about the murder. I'm Hamlet. I just murdered. I feel bad about it.
Oh, Gertrude, come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence. In this vile deed we must, with all our majesty and skill, both countenance and excuse. Ho, Guildenstern! Guildenstern. Re-enter Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
We're back.
Friends both, go join you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you, haste in this. Exeunt Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Quick change.
We'll call up our wisest friends and let them know both what we mean to do and what's ultimately done. Oh, come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay.
Exit. Act 4, Scene 2, another room in the castle. Enter Hamlet.
Safely stowed.
Hamlet, Lord Hamlet.
What noise? Who calls on Hamlet? Oh, here they come.
Enter Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust, whereto 'tis kin.
Tell us where 'tis, that we may take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel and not mine own. Besides, to be damned of a sponge, what replication should be made by the son of a king?
Take you for me a sponge, my lord?
Aye, sir, that soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities. But such offers do the king best service in the end. He keeps them in the corner of his jaw, first mouth, to be last swallowed. When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you, and sponge, you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
I am glad of it. A knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is and go with us to the king.
The body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord.
Nothing. Bring me to him. Act 4, Scene 3. Another room in the castle. Enter King Claudius, attended.
I have sent to seek him and to find the body. How dangerous is it that this man goes loose? Yet we must not put the strong law on him. This sudden sending him away must seem deliberate pause. Diseases desperate grown, by desperate appliance are relieved, or not at all. Enter Rosencrantz. How now? What hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him.
But where is he?
Without, my lord, guarded to know your pleasure.
Bring him in before us.
Ho, Guildenstern, bring in my lord.
Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper, where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are e'en at him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us, and we fat ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggar is but variable service, 2 dishes, but to 1 table. That's the end.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven, send hither to see if your if your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But indeed, if you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go seek him there.
He will stay till ye come.
Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety, which we do tender, we dearly grieve. For that which thou hast done, we must send thee hence with fiery quickness to England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it, if thou knewest our purposes.
I see a cherub that sees them. But come, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Father and mother is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh, and so my mother. Come, for England.
Exit. Away, for everything is sealed and done. That else leans on the affair. Pray you, make haste. Exit Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. And, England, if my love for thou holds that aught, by letters conjuring to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England. Exit. Act 4, Scene 4. A plain in Denmark. Enter Fortinbras, a captain, and soldiers marching.
Go, captain. From me greet the Danish king. Tell him that, by his license, Fortinbras craves the convenience of a promised march over his kingdom. We shall express our duty in his eye and let him know so.
I will do it, my lord.
Go softly on.
Exit Fortinbras and soldiers. Oh, wait, goddamn. Yeah. Enter Hamlet, Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and others. Good sir, good sir, whose powers are these?
They are of Norway, sir.
How purpose, sir, I pray you?
Against some part of Poland.
Who commands them, sir?
The nephews to old Norway, Fortinbras.
I humbly thank you, sir.
God be with you, sir.
Oh, fuck. Will please you to go, my lord?
I'll be with you straight. Go a little before.
Ha, you got the monologue.
Damn it. Such a dick.
Peace.
Got my fucking cardigan on.
Flawless, this production.
All right. How all occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge. What is a man if his chief good in market of his time be but to sleep and feed, a beast no more? Sure, he that made us with such large discourse, looking before and after, gave us not that capability and godlike reason to fust us in unused. Why yet I live to say this things to do, sith I have cause and will and strength and means to do it. Examples gross as earth exhort me. Witness this army of such mass and charge, led by a delicate and tender prince, to all that fortune, death, and danger dare. How stand I then, that have a father killed, a mother stained, excitements of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, while, to my shame, I see the imminent death of 20,000 men, that, for a fantasy and trick of fame, go to their graves like beds and fight for a plot whereon the numbers cannot try the cause, which is not tomb enough in continent to hide the slain. Oh, from this time forth, my thoughts be bloody or be nothing worth.
Act 4, Scene 5. Elsinore, a room in the castle. Enter Queen Gertie, Horatio, and a gentleman.
I ain't talking to that crazy hoe.
She is importunate, indeed distract. Her mood will needs be pitied.
What does she even want?
She speaks much of her father, says that she hears there's tricks in the world, and hems and beats her heart. Spurns enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt, but carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet the unshaped use of it doth move the hearers to collection. They aim at it, and botch the words up to fit their own thoughts, which, as her winks and nods and gestures yield them, indeed would make one think there might be thought, though nothing sure, yet much unhappy.
'Twere good she were spoken with, for she may strew. Why am I like Southern? Dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds.
Fine, bring her in here. Exit Horatio. God damn, this is starting to get messy. I'm starting to wonder if there are signs shit's gonna go down. What do I know? Re-enter Horatio and Ophelia.
Where is the Beatius? What?
Beauteous.
Where is the Beauteous? Majesty of Denmark.
Girl, you good?
How would I your true love know from another one by his staff and his sandal shoon?
Why are you singing? This is a Shakespearean tragedy, not a shitty musical.
Say you, nay, pray you, Mark.
That's not sung.
He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his head, a grass green turf. At his heels, a stone.
I won't sing, Ophelia.
Pray you, mark. White his shroud as the mountain snow.
Enter King Claudius. Look at this bitch.
Larded with sweet flowers, which bewept to the grave did go, with true love showers.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God illed you? They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her, father.
I pray you, let's have no words of this, but when they ask what it means, say, I sound like Tally. Oh, I'm gonna get a little high and sing a little song. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning be time, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine. Then be up it rose, and donned his clothes, and doped his the chamber door, let in the maid that out a maid never departed more. She's still bad.
You gave it the melody of like shitty Mickey Mouse song. Pretty Ophelia.
Indeed, law without an oath. Oath. I'll make an end on it. By Saint Charity.
Oh yeah, there's so much.
Young men will do it if they come to it.
How long hath she been thus?
Quoth she, wherefore you trembled me. You promised me to wed. So what I have done by yonder sun, and thou hadst not come to my bed.
How long hath she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient, but I cannot choose but weep to think they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it, and so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night.
Exit. Follow her close, give her good watch, I pray you. Exit Horatio. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not as single spies, but in battalions. First her father slain, next your son gone, and he, most violent author of his own just remove. The people muddied, thick and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment, without the which we are pictures, or mere beasts. Last, and as much containing as all these, her brother is in secret come from France, feeds on his wonder, keeps himself in clouds, and wants not buzzers to infect his ear, with pestilent speeches of his father's death. Oh, my dear Gertrude, this, like to a murdering piece, in so many places, give me superfluous death. A noise within.
What was that?
Where are my Switzers? Let them guard the door. Enter another gentleman. What is the matter?
Save yourself, my lord. Young Laertes in a righteous head overbears your officers. The rabble call him lord. Antiquity forgot, custom not known. They cry, choose we, Laertes shall be king.
Damn it, our dumb Danishes are cheering and ranting for the wrong crap.
The doors are broke.
A noise within. Enter Laertes, armed. Danes, follow.
That's you.
You're right. Where is the king? Sirs, stand you all without.
Oh, let's come in.
I pray you, give me leave.
We will. We will.
They retire without the door. Without the door? What? I thank you. Keep the door. Oh, thou vile king, give me my father.
Easy, boy. Slow down.
That drop of blood that's calm proclaims me bastard, cries cuckold to my father, brands the harlot even here between the chaste unsmirched brow of my true mother.
What is this cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. There such divinity doth hedge a king, that treason can but peep to what it would, acts little of his will. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed. Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
It wasn't us. Please no stabby stabby.
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I might not be juggled with. To hell allegiance vows, to the blackest devil, only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
Who shall stay you?
My will, not all the world. And for my means, I'll husband them so well they shall go far with little.
Good Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death, is it writ in your revenge that swoopstake you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
To his good friends thus wide I'll ope my arms, and like the kind life-rendering pelican, repass them with my blood.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman, that I am guiltless of your father's death, and most thankful in grief for it. It shall, as level to your judgment, pierce, as day does to your eye.
Let her come in.
I don't have
Now you're Laertes.
now. What noise is that?
Re-enter Ophelia.
Oh,
Oh
heat,
God.
dry up my brains, tears 7 times salt, burn out the sense and virtue of mine eye. By heaven, thy madness shall be paid by weight, till our scale turn the beam. O rose of May, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia, after the thing it loves.
They bore him barefaced on the bier. Hey, nonny, 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 hey, nonny. And in his grave reigned many a tear. Farewell, my dove.
This nothing more than matter.
There's rosemary, that's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. And there is pansies, that's for thoughts.
A document in madness, thought and remembrance fitted.
There's fennel for you, and columbines, there's rue for you, and here's some for me. We may call it Herbo Grace, O Sundays. Oh, you must wear your rue with difference. There's a daisy, I would give you some violets, but they withered when all my father died. They say he made a good end. For bonny sweet Robin is all my joy.
Thought and affliction, passion, hell itself, she turns to favor and to prettiness.
And will he not come again? And will he not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He is gone. He is gone. God have mercy on his soul. And all the Christian soul, I pray, God be with ye. Exit.
Do you see this? Oh, God.
Laertes, I must commune with your grief. Be you content to lend your patience to us, and we shall jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, no trophy, sword, nor hatchment o'er his bones, no noble rite, nor formal ostentation, cry to be heard, as 'twere from heaven to earth, that I must call it in question.
So you shall, and where the offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you, go with me.
Scene 6, another room in the castle. Enter Horatio and a servant.
What are they that would speak to me?
Sailors, sir. They say they have letters for you.
Let them come in. I do not know from what part of the world I should be greeted, if not from Lord Hamlet.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you. Letter. Horatio, when thou shalt have overlooked, give these fellows some means to the king. They have letters for him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate of very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put a compelled valor, and in the grapple I boarded them. On the instant they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they knew what they did. I am too good of a turn for them. Let the king have the letters I sent you, and repair thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly death. I have words to speak in thine ear, will make thee dumb. Yet, are they much too light for the bore of the matter? These good fellows will bring thee where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell. He that knowest thine, Hamlet. Come, I will make you a way for these letters, and do it the speedier, that you may direct me to him who brought you them. Whom you brought them. Exit. Scene 7. Sorry. Getting too many text messages, and I thought somebody was calling me. Scene 7. Another room in the castle. Enter King Claudius and Laertes.
Now must your conscience my acquaintance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend, sith you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
But tell me, why you proceeded not against these feats?
Oh, for 2 special reasons. The queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks, and for myself, my virtue or my plague, be it either which, she's so conjunctive to my life and soul, that as the star moves not but in this sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive, why to a public count I might not go, is the great love the general gender bear him, who, dipping all his faults in their affection, would convert his gyves to graces, so that my arrows, too slightly timbered for so loud a wind, would have reverted to my bow again, and not where I had aimed them.
And so I have a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms, but my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull. You shortly shall hear more. I love your father, and we love ourselves, and that, I hope, will teach you to imagine.
Ha!
And for a messenger. How now? What news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. This is your majesty, this to the queen.
From Hamlet. Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not. They were given to me by Claudio. He received them of him that brought them.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. Exit messenger. High and mighty, you shall know that I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet. What should this mean? Are all the rest come back, or is it some abuse, and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character. Naked, and in a postscript here, he says alone. Can you advise me?
Aye, my lord. So you will not overrule me to a peace.
To thine own peace, if he be now returned, as checking up at his voyage, and that he means no more to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fall, and for his death no wind. I had to sneeze. And for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall uncharge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled. The rather, if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. I know of the Frenchman, who gave you such a masterly report for art and exercise in your defense, and for your rapier most especially that he cried out, 'twould be a sight indeed, if one could match you. The scrimmers of their nation, he swore, had neither motion, guard, nor eye if you opposed them. Sir, this report of his did Hamlet so envenom with his envy that he could nothing do but wish and beg your sudden coming over to play with him. Now, out of this.
What out of this, my lord?
Laertes, was your father dear to you, or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think you did not love your father, but that I know love is begun by time, and that I see in passages of proof time qualifies the spark and fire of it. Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself your father's son in deed more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place, indeed, should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. But, good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returned shall know you are come home. Will put on those shall praise your excellence, and set a double varnish of your on the fame the Frenchman gave you. Bring you and find together and wager on your heads. He, being remiss, most generous, and free from all contriving, will not pursue the foils, so that with ease or with a little shuffling you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a pass of practice requite him for your father.
I will do it. And for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I'll touch my point with a contagion that, if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this. Weigh what convenience both of time and means may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, and that our drift look through our bad performance, 'twere better not essayed. Therefore this project should have a back or second that might hold if this should blast and proof. Soft, let me see. When in your motion you are hot and dry, and that he calls for drink, I'll have him prepared him a chalice for this nonce, whereon, but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom struck, our purpose may hold there.
Enter Queen Gertie.
How now, sweet queen?
I would prefer someone else tell you this, but Ophelia kind of drowned.
I thought it was drowned. Oh, where?
She was walking the nearby river and picking flowers because she's nuts, but she probably slipped and fell in. Some burly night guards found her. A bunch of people aren't sure if she slipped in, the water rose, or she just walked into the watery grave.
Alas, that she is drowned.
Oh, she dead, buddy. Yeah.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. But yet, it is our trick. Nature her custom holds. Let shame say what it will. When these are gone, the woman will be out. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech of fire, that fain would blaze, but that this fully doubts it.
Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage, now fear I this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow. Eggs went. Alright.
Act 5, Scene 1, a churchyard. Enter two clowns with spade and seat.
Is she to be buried in Christian burial that willfully seeks her own salvation?
I tell thee she is, and therefore make her grave straight. The crowner hath sat on her, and finds it Christian burial.
How can that be, unless she drowned herself in her own defense?
Why, 'tis found so.
It must be so, offendendo. It cannot be else. For here lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act, and an act hath three branches. It is to act, to do, perform. Argal, she drowned herself wittingly.
Nay, but hear you, good man Delver.
Give me leave, here lies the water. Good. Here stands the man. Good. If the man goes to this water and drowns himself, it is, will he, nil he goes. Mark you that. But if the water come to him and drown him, he drowns not himself. He that is not guilty of his own death shortens not his own life.
What is this law?
Aye, Mary's, is it? A crowner's quest law.
Well, you had the truth on it, and if this had not been a gentlewoman, she would have been buried out of the Christian burial.
Why, there thou sayest. And the more pity that great folk should have countenance in this world to drown or hang themselves, more than they're even Christian. Come, my spade. There is no ancient gentleman but gardeners, ditchers, and grave markers. They hold up Adam's profession.
Was he a gentleman?
He was the first ever that bore arms.
Why, he had none.
What? Art a heathen? How dost thou understand the scripture? The scripture says Adam digged. Could he dig without arms? I'll put another question to thee. If thou answerest me not to the purpose, confess thyself.
Go to.
What is he that builds stronger than either the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
The gallows maker, for that frame outlives 1,000 tenants.
I like thy wit well. In good faith, the gallows does well. But how does it well? It does well to those that do in. Now, thou dost ill to say... I've made it really good through this so far, damn it. Now thou dost ill to say the gallows is built stronger than the church. Argo, the gallows may do well to thee. To it again come.
Who builds stronger than a mason, a shipwright, or a carpenter?
Aye, tell me that and unyoke.
Marry, now I can tell.
To it.
Mass, I cannot tell.
Enter Hamlet, Horatio, at a distance. Cudgel thy brains no more about it, for your dull ass will not mend his pace with the beating, and when you are asked this question next, say, a grave marker. The houses that he builds last till the end, last till doomsday. Go, fetch me a stoop of liquor. Exit second clown. He digs and sings. In youth when did love, methought it was very sweet to contract, the time, for my behove. Methought there was nothing meet.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at grave making?
Custom hath made him a property of easiness.
'Tis even so. The hand of little employment hath the dainter sense.
But age with his stealing steps hath clawed me in this clutch, if he hath shipped me into the land, as if I had never been such.
That skull had a tongue in it, and could sing once. How the knob jolts it to the ground, as if it were Cain's jawbow that did the first murder. It might be the pate of politician, which this ass now overreaches, one that would circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Or of a courtier, which could say, Good morrow, sweet lord, how dost thou, good lord? This might be my lord such a one, that praised my lord, such a one's horse, when he meant to beg it. Might it not?
Aye, my lord.
A pickaxe and a spade for an extravagant feat. Oh, pit of clay for to be made for such a guest as meet.
There's another. Why may not that be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his quiddities now? His quillets, his cases, his tenures, and his tricks? Why does he suffer this rude knave now to knock him about the sconce with the dirty shovel, and will not tell him of his action of battery? This fellow might be in times a great buyer of land with his statutes. Will his vouchers vouch him no more of his purchases, and double ones too, than the length and breadth of a pair of indentures? The very conveyances of his lands will hardly live in this box, and must the interior himself have no more, ha?
Not a jot more, my lord.
Is not parchment made of sheepskins?
Aye, my lord, and of calf skins too.
They are sheep and calves which seek out assurance in that. I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave's this, sirrah?
Mine, sir. Oh, a pity of clay for to be made for such a guest as me.
Completely switched the costume and everything for first class. I think it be thine indeed if thou liest in it.
You lie out on it, sir, and therefore it is not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, and yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it, to be in it, and say it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick. Therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. 'Twill away gain from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the knave is. We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. By the Lord, how long hast thou been a grave maker?
Of all the days in the year, I came to it that day that our last king Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was the very day that young Hamlet was born, and he is mad and sent into England.
Ay, Mary, why was he sent to England?
Why? Because he was mad. He shall recover his wits there, or if he do not, it's no great matter there.
Why?
'Twill not be seen in him there. There the men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith with losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark, I have been sexton here. I sex. Man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
And faith, he be not rotten before he die, as we have many pocky courses nowadays that will scarce hold the laying in. He will last you some 8 year or 9 year. A tanner will last you 9 year.
Why he more than other?
Why, sir, his hide is so tanned with his trade that he will keep out of water a great while, and your water is a sore decayer of your whore son dead a body. Here's a skull now. This skull has lain in the earth 23 years.
Wait, no. Something far better. R2D2. Piggy bank. Whose was it?
A horse son mad fellows it was, and who do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. Poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
Even that.
You still have it. Let me see. Alas, poor York. I knew him well, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, a most excellent fancy he hath, borne me on his back 1,000 times. And now, how abhorred my imagination it is. Where be your gibes now, your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment, that were wont to set the table a-roar? Not one now, to mock your own grinning. Quite chapfallen. Now get you to my lady's chamber, and tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that.
Even so, my lord.
But soft, but soft. Aside, here comes the king. Enter priest and company. Enter priest and company in procession. The corpse of Ophelia, Laertes, and mourners following. King Claudius, Queen Gertie, their fuck you. Their trains in company.
They had trains during
Queen. He had zombies in Shakespeare time. The queen, the courtiers, who is this they follow? And with such maimed rites, this doth betoken the course they follow did, with desperate hand fordo its own life. 'Twas of some estate. Couch we a while and mark.
What ceremony else?
This is Laertes, a very noble youth.
What ceremony else?
I gotta have something religious around here.
Got to get a priest costume.
This is a cross. I don't have a rosemary out. My grandparents would be so ashamed of me. I don't care. This is the pocket rosary.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can count it like this. Oh, God. Her obsequies have been far enlarged, as we have warranties. Her death was doubtful, but the great command o'ersways the order. She should in the ground, unsanctified, have lodged, till the last trumpet her child prayers. Yet here she is allowed her virgin crants.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We shall profane the service of the dead, to sing a requiem and such her rest to peace-parted souls.
Lay her in the earth, that from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be, when thou liest howling.
What? The fair Ophelia?
Sweets to the sweet, bye. Scattering flowers. I thought you'd marry Hamlet. Then I could toss flowers at the ceremony. I get to toss flowers just at the wrong ceremony.
Oh, treble woe. Fall 10 times, tremble on that cursed head. For those wicked deed thy most ingenuous sense deprive thee of. Hold off the earth awhile, till I have caught her once more in mine arms. Leaps into the grave. I'm at the same height. I just got off my chair. Here we go. Wait, I got it. Now pile your dust upon the quick and dead. 'Tis of this flat mountain you have made, to overtop the petition and skyish head of blue Olympus.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose phase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wounded hares? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
Leaps into grave. I'm on the floor, buddy.
Man.
Don't worry about my shoes and stuff, it's fine. The devil take thy soul.
Thou prayest not well. I prithee, take thy fingers from my throat, for though I am not splenitive and rash, yet have I something in me dangerous, which let thy wiseness fear. Hold off thy hand.
Pluck them asunder.
Hamlet! Hamlet!
Gentlemen! Good my lord, be quiet. The attendants part them and they come out of the grave.
Why, I will fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag.
What?
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quantity of love, make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes.
For love of God, don't encourage him.
Swoons, show me what thou'lt do. Woot weep, woot fight, woot fast, woot tear thyself, woot drink easel. Eat a crocodile, I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine, to outface me with leaping into her grave? Be buried quick with her, and so will I. I'll rant as well as thou. Queen Gertie.
Sorry. Calvin wants to join.
I'll rant as well. I'll rant as well as thou.
Calvin wants to join, so he was texting me about getting in the server. He's obviously just fucking crazy. Let it go and it'll calm down, probably.
Hear you, sir. What is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever, but it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew and the dog will have his day. Exit.
I pray you, good Horatio, wait upon him. Exit, Horatio. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience our proceeding be.
Excellent.
Scene 2. A hall in the castle. Enter
The
Hamlet.
final scene.
Scene 2. A hall in the castle. Oh, Brianna just joined us. Oopsie. Yeah, if you just listen to me, don't listen to Ben. Just mute Ben. And listen through me, but don't listen through Ben. You know what I mean? That's a good
Just
life.
don't listen to me.
Also, in the Zoom thing. Yeah, mute Ben and then, yeah, you get it. You get it. You get it. And somebody else just joined. Oh.
No, that's just Brian stuff.
Ew, a girl. Girl.
Is in the Discord?
I don't know. I just got a thing said she joined the Discord.
Oh, okay.
A girl.
Because the only two people in here are Brian and Calvin besides us.
Brianna,
All right, let her get it going.
All right. Act 5, Scene 2. A hall in the castle. Enter Hamlet and Horatio.
So much for this, sir. Now, shall you see the other? Do you remember all the circumstance?
Remember it, my lord.
Sir, in my heart there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. Up from my cabin, my sea-gown scarfed about me, in the dark, groped I to find out them. Had my desire, fingered their packet, in the fine withdrew their grand commission, where I found it. Horatio, oh royal knavery, an exact command that my head be struck off.
Is it possible?
Here's the commission. Read it at more leisure. But wilt thou hear me how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
Being thus benetted round with villainies, I had begun the play. I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair. Wilt thou know the effect of what I wrote?
I, my good lord.
An earnest conjuration from the king, as England was his faithful tributary, that, on the view and knowing of these contents, the bearers be put to sudden death.
How was this sealed?
Why, even in that heaven ordinate I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the model of the Danish seal, folded the writ up in the form of the other, subscribed it, gave it the impression, placed it safely. The changeling was never known. Now, the next day was our sea fight, and what to this sequent thou knowest already.
So Guildenstern and Rosencrantz go to it.
They are not near my conscience. Their defeat, 'tis dangerous when the baser nature comes between the pass and fell incense points of mighty opposites.
Why, what a king is this?
Does it not, thinkest thee, stand me now upon? He hath killed my king, whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life. With such cozenage, is't not perfect conscious to quit him with his arm.
It must be shortly known to him from England what is the issue of the business here.
It will be short. The interim is mine. But I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself. For by the image of my cause I see the portraiture of his. I'll court his favours, but sure, the bravery of his grief did put me into towering passion.
Peace! Who comes here?
Your lordship, welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Dost thou know this water fly?
Nay, my good lord.
Thy state is more gracious, for 'tis a vice to know him. He hath much land and fertile. Let a beast be lord of beasts, and his crib shall stand at the king's mess. 'Tis a
Damn right.
'Tis a cough. What? But as I say, spacious in the possession of dirt.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
A thing? I will receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to his right.
He has a hat.
Tis for the head.
He's supposed to have a hat. That's a big thing. I forgot.
One time you'll wear our hat.
I thank you, my lordship. It is hot.
No, believe me, 'tis very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed.
But yet methinks it is very sultry and hot for my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lord, it is very sultry, as 'twere I cannot tell how. But, my lord, his majesty bade me signify to you that he has laid a great wager on your head, sir. This is the matter.
I beseech you, remember. Put on your hat.
Nay, good, my lord, for mine...
Ease.
He doesn't put it on. Nay, good my lord, for my knees, in good faith, sit here this newly come to court Laertes. Believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of most excellent differences.
Sir, his definement suffers no perdition in you, though I know to divide him inventorially would dizzy the arithmetic of memory, and yet but neither. In respect of his quick sale, but in the verity of the extolment, I take him to be a soul of great article, and his infusion of such dearth in rareness as to make true diction of him, his semblable, what is his mirror, and who else would trace him his umbrage, nothing more.
Your lordship speaks most infallibly of him.
The concernacy, sir, why do we wrap the gentleman in our more rarer breath?
Sir.
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Of Laertes?
His purse is empty already. All his golden words are spent.
Of him, sir.
Of Laertes? Oh, no, I read the wrong line. I know you are not ignorant.
I would you did, sir, yet in faith I didn't know you were Jewish. If you did, it would not much approve me. Well, sir?
If you rearrange the letters in Ostric, it means Jewish. You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is.
I dare not confess that, lest I should compare with him in excellence, but to know a man well, were to know himself.
I mean, sir, for his weapon, but in the imputation laid on him by them, in his meed he's unfellowed.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's 2 of his weapons, but well.
The king, sir, hath wagered with him 6 Barbary horses, against the which he has imponed, as I take it, 6 French rapiers and poniards, with their assigns as girdle hangers, and so 3 of the carriages, in faith, are very dear to fancy, very responsive to the hilts, most delicate carriages, and of very liberal conceit.
Why is this imponed, as you call it?
The king, sir, hath laid that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. He hath laid on 12 for mine, and it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer no?
I mean, my lord, you hath prompted a match.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall. If it please his majesty, let the foils be brought, the gentleman willing, and the king hold his purpose. I will win for him, and I can. If not, I will gain nothing but my shame and the odd hits.
Shall I redeliver you e'en so?
To this effect, after what flourish your nature will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours. He does well to commend himself. There are no tongues else that shall.
This lopwing runs away with his shell on his beard or head.
He did comply with his dug before he sucked it.
Shit, Lord is in this play?
That's another one I just did right before I sent it to you. I auto-replaced everything that says Lord in the scene with a D and E.
My Cub Scouts bandana. My lord, his majesty condemned him to you by young Osric, who brings back to him that you attend him in the hall. He sends to know if your pleasure hold to play with Laertes, so that you will take longer time.
I am constant to my purpose. They follow the king's pleasure. If his fitness speaks, mine is ready now. Or whensoever, provided I be so able as now.
The king and queen are coming down.
In happy time.
The queen desires you to use some gentle entertainment to Laertes before you fall to play.
She well instructs me.
Exit Lord. You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went to France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds, but thou wouldst not think how ill all's here. But thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart. But it is no matter.
Nay, good, my lord.
It is but foolery. But it is such a kind of gain-giving as would perhaps trouble a woman.
If your mind is like anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither, and say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. There's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all, since no man has aught of what he leaves. What is to leave betimes? Enter King Claudius, Queen Gertie, Laertes, lords, Orsic, attendants of foils and company.
Come, Hamlet, come, and take this hand from me.
Claudius puts Laertes' hand into Hamlet's. Wait, fuck. Something like that. Oh, that's probably better. We don't even know who's playing Laertes. Give me your pardon, sir. I've done you wrong, but pardoned, as I know you are a gentleman. This presence knows, and you must needs have heard how I am punished with sore distraction. What I have done. That might your nature, honor, and exception roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Wast Hamlet wronged, Laertes? Never Hamlet. If Hamlet from himself be ta'en away, and when he's not himself does wrong Laertes, then Hamlet does it not. Hamlet denies it. Who does it then? His madness. If to be so, Hamlet is of the faction that is the wronged. His madness is poor Hamlet's enemy. Sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming from a purpose evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts, that I have shot mine arrow over the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge. But in my terms of honor, I stand aloof, and will no reconcilement, till by some elder masters of known honor, I have a voice and precedent of peace to keep my name ungored. But till that time, I do receive your offered love like love, and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Give us the foils, come on.
Come, one for me.
I'll be your foil, Laertes, and mine ignorance. Your skill shall, like a star in the darkest night, stick fiery off indeed.
You mock me, sir.
Not by this hand.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both, but since he is bettered, we have therefore odds.
You skipped one? Very well, my lord. Your grace hath laid the odds of the weaker side.
What?
Yeah, you skipped one.
Oh, shit. Damn it.
It's fine, just do the Claudius line again.
All right. I do not fear it. I have seen you both, but since he is bettered, we have therefore odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
This likes me well. These foils have all a length.
They prepare to play. I'm a good lord.
Set me the stoops of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give... stoops of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, let all the battlements their ordnance fire. The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup and union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Give me the cups, and let the kettle to the trumpet speak, the trumpet to the cannoneer without, the cannons to the heavens to earth. The king dunks to Hamlet. Come, begin, and you, the judges, bear a wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Yeah, my clothes keep falling off. What? Come, my lord.
1.
No.
Judgment.
I hit a very probable hit.
Well, again.
Stay.
Oh, wait, that's well again without the hat.
Stay, give me a drink. Hamlet, this pearl is 9. Here's to thy health.
Boo, boo.
Give him
It's so you give him the cup, yeah.
I just said that.
Oh, shit, okay. Hamlet's gonna have this sword now, the wooden one. I'll play this bout first. Set it a while. Come. Poison. It doesn't happen yet. Another hit. What say you?
A touch, I do confess.
Fuck. Our son shall win.
He's tired. Please, Hamlet, take a damn break. And while you do, I'm gonna chug this goblet.
It's the poison one with Shrek. Good, madam.
Gertrude, do not drink.
God damn it. Down the hatch.
If it is the poison cup, it is too late.
I dare not drink yet, madam, by and by.
My lord, I'll hit him now.
I don't think it.
And yet 'tis almost gainst my conscience.
Where's my beanie? No. Oh, it's inside all of this on my lap. Come for a third, Laertes, you but dally. I pray you, pass with your best violence. I am afeard you make wanton of me.
Say you so. Come on.
They play. Oh, fuck. Horsick. Nothing, neither way.
How about you now? Nah.
It's a laser. It's wounded. Fuck. Pardon them. They are incensed. Oh wait, Hamlet also gets Laertes with the poisoned one. It's a lightsaber.
Nay, come again. Look to the queen there. Oh.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
How is it, Laertes?
Why, as this woodcock to puff my own springe, Orsic, I am justly killed with my own treachery.
How does the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
No, I am poisoned, you asshole.
Oh, villainy. How? Oh, let the door be locked. Treachery, seek it out.
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee there is not half an hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me low. Here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poisoned. I can no more. The king's to blame.
The point, the envenom too. Then venom do thy work.
Treason!
Treason!
Oh, yet defend me, friends. I am but hurt.
Here, thou incestuous, murderous, damned Dane, drink off this potion. Is thy union here? Follow my mother.
King Claudius dies. He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. I am dead, Horatio. Wretched queen, adieu. You that look pale and tremble at this chance, that are but mutes or audience to this act, had I but time. But let it be, Horatio. I am dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I am more an antique Roman than a Dane. Here's yet some liquor left.
As thou art a man, give me the cup. Let me go, by heaven I'll have it. A good Horatio, what a wounded name. Things standing this unknown shall live behind me. If thou livest, ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from thy flesh a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. Marching in the distance. What warlike noise is this?
Young Fortinbras, with conquest come from Poland, to the ambassadors of England gives this warlike volley.
Oh, I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite o'ercrows my spirit. I cannot live to hear the news from England, but I do prophesy the election lights on Fortinbras. He has my dying voice, so tell him with the currents, more and less, which have solicited. The rest is silence.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet friends, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Why does the drum come hither?
Fuck. Shook my whole desk.
Enter Fortinbras, the English ambassadors, and others.
Where is this sight?
What is it ye would see, if aught of woe or wonder sees your search?
The merry cries on havoc. O proud death, what feast is toward thy eternal cell, that thou so many princes at a shot so bloodily last struck?
The sight
Read through this fucking helmet.
and our affairs from England come too late. The ears are senseless that should give us hearing. To tell him his commandment is fulfilled, that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Where should we have our thanks?
Not from his mouth. Had it the ability of life to thank you. He never gave commandment for their death. But since so jump upon his bloody question, you are from Polack wars, and you from England, and are here arrived to give order that these bodies high on a stage be placed in the view, and let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal, bloody, and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments, casual slaughters, of deaths put on by cunning and forced cause, and, in this upshot, purposes mistook. Fall you on the inventor's reeds. All this I can truly deliver.
Let us haste to hear it, and call the noblest to the audience. For me, with sorrow, I embrace my fortune. I have some rights of memory in this kingdom, which now to claim my vantage doth invite me.
Of that, I shall also have cause to speak, and from his mouth whose voice will draw on more, but let this same presently performed. Even while men's minds are wild, let more mischance on plots and error happen.
Let 4 captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage, for he was likely, had he been put on, to have proved most royally, and for his passage, the soldiers' music and the rites of war speak loudly for him. Take up the bodies. Such a sight as this becomes the field, but here shows much amiss. Go, bid the soldiers shoot. A death march.
I think that now,
Bearing up the dead bodies. Ready? And thank you.